O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. We're doing Canadian bacon. Let's get this rolling.
Just don't let it go, 'cause it ain't no getting off till we get it.
Today I am super excited to share this recipe with you. We are going to dive into some charcuterie. We are going to do a recipe right out of this book. Charcuterie, the craft of salting, smoking, and curing. We are going to do some back bacon, or as in the States, we call it Canadian bacon. My mother got me this book a couple days ago. It is by Michael Ruhlman and Brian Polson. We are going to take this pork loin. It's about a 4-pound pork loin that I have trussed and trimmed off all the fat, all the silver skin, all the sinew. We are going to brine it, and we are going to cure it, and then we are going to apply some smoke. So let's go over to the stove and I'll show you the brine. Now we're over at the stove. Let me tell you how we're doing this. This book has the measurements are in US and in standard. So it's gonna. I'll give you the measurements for each of them. We're gonna start out with 2 liters of water. I like to do it a little more specific with the standard measurements rather than the US measurements. So we are starting out with 2 liters of water, and we are going to add 350 grams of kosher salt. And to that, we are going to add 225 grams of sugar. Now, here is what makes it cure. We are going to add some pink salt. You want to make sure this is pretty specific. This has the nitrates in it. This is 42 grams of pink salt. Prague powder number 1. You're going to add one bunch of fresh thyme, a bunch of fresh sage, and we are going to add 2 cloves of smashed garlic. We are going to stir this. We're going to keep an eye on it. We want to dissolve the salt, the sugar, and the pink salt. I'm going to turn on the heat to a simmer. Get this dissolved, and then I'll show you what we do next. Now that the sugar and the salts have dissolved, I am going to put a cover on this and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Brine has been simmering for about 10 minutes. I am going to go ahead and kill the heat. I have 2 more liters of water that I have had chilling in the refrigerator. The purpose of this is to chill the water. I am going to let this come to room temperature, and then I'm going to put it into the refrigerator to chill. The brine is done cooling off. Now I've transferred the pork loin into this food container. I'm going to go ahead and just dump the entire brine right inside here without spilling it. So we want to make sure you get everything out. Now you want to make sure that the pork loin is completely submerged in the brine. So I have this plate that I am going to just keep on top of here. Just like that. Keep it on top of it the entire time that it's in the refrigerator. I'm going to go grab the lid. I'll be right back. Now I'm going to cover this. Let's see, let's try this way. There we go. It'll help hold the plate down too. Now, this is going to go into the refrigerator for 48 hours so it can, absorb the flavor and most importantly absorb the cure. So I will see you all in 48 hours. It has been a little over 48 hours. We have gone and we've taken the pork loin out of the brine. We washed it under the sink just to get any residual brine, any cure, any of the seasonings off the surface of the meat. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and take some paper towel, or you can leave it dry out, on the counter. But what I like to do is I like to take some paper towel, dry off the surface of the meat. You want to get it as dry as you can. And we are going to go ahead and stick this pork loin on this rack into the refrigerator for about a day. You want to be able to get the surface of the meat as dry as you can to help with the formation of the pellicle layer. It has been 24 hours since I put the pork loin in the fridge to dry. Here's what we're looking like. It is tacky to the touch. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's tacky to the touch. Now what we're going to do with this is we are going to put it in my smoker at about 200 degrees for a couple hours so we get an internal temperature of 150. You could do this in the oven if you'd like. If you don't have a smoker, it's really easy. Just put your oven on 200 or as low as it'll go and just keep track of it. You can roast it that way. But the smoke just adds a whole different aspect of it. So we are going to smoke this. Pork loin is in the smoker right there. I'm going to hot smoke this. What that means is we're going to put it in about 200 degrees, like I said, for a couple hours until the internal temperature reaches 150. I got some maple wood chunks that I cut up from a maple tree that I've had seasoned for about a year and a half. So I got that going in the cold smoke generator. Well, it's a hot smoke generator right now. And we will get that going. We'll pull it out when it gets to 150 degrees. Whew. The pork loin transformed into Canadian bacon has been in the smoker for about 4 hours. We are going to take it out. It's reading at proper temperature. It's at 147.5. We are going to take it out, go set it on the counter, and let it cool down, and then we are going to stick it in the refrigerator for maybe another 48 hours, and then we're going to slice it up. Today is the exciting part. I'm really excited about this. The pork loin is out of the refrigerator. I ended up keeping it in there for 2 whole days to let the smoke meld or do whatever it's got to do. This is a new experience for me. I mean, I've made sausage in the past, and charcuterie is a practice. You don't actually ever master it. Everything changes, like the fat content in the meat, how much water is left in the meat, different variables that can change your final outcome. So it's always a practice. Let's take a look at this Canadian style back bacon that we have done. This is what it looks like. You can see it's smoked. One thing that I will recommend: don't hold it down when you brine it. Make sure you have a container big enough to hold, like deep enough for the pork loin. And when I put the plate on it, it kind of squished it. That's why it's flat. We are going to go ahead. We're going to cut this twine off, and we are going to give it a slice and give it a taste. Now that all the twine's removed, we're going to slice it right down the middle. We'll take a look at it. And it's cold because it's been in the fridge for 2 days. And okay, all right. Look at this. I don't know if you can. Let's put it right here. See, it's got that nice pink color, the pink bacon color that you're familiar with. That's because of the cure. That's what it does to the meat. And because we smoked it at such a low temperature, the cure inhibits. Inhibits, is that the word? It stops bacteria, the bad bacteria growth. So we're going to go ahead and give this another slice. And go ahead and give it a try. Right off the rip. Smoke. That extra day in the refrigerator really mellowed it out. It's there, but it's in the background. That is really good. Wow. Wow. It has a bacon flavor, like that, you know, Canadian bacon style bacon flavor. It's really close to ham. That is going to be really, really good. Fried with some eggs for breakfast. Maybe breakfast for dinner. Do you want to try some?
No fat.
There's no fat on this.
Just a tiny piece.
And? Can you taste the smoke?
Mm-hmm. But it's not crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
It's really good. I enjoy it.
Phone's ringing.
I'm sure that's our daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really good.
Can you reach over and click no? Is it still recording?
I think so.
It's never a dull moment. It doesn't matter if you're frying it, baking it, grilling it, or
That's really
curing
good.
it and smoking it. You guys keep doing what you do. Take care.
This is pretty good. All right. Good job, babe.